So before we get started on chapter 2, I have a little fun fact for y'all. So Les Mis, the story, has been turned into a musical, okay? I remember being in elementary school, so a little bit older than you guys are now in class, and coming across this musical and being obsessed with it. It is seriously one of my favorite things. I know the whole thing, but look at this. You guys probably don't know what CDs are. These are what music used to be on. Like before you could just pick up your phone and be like, hey Siri, play a song. They had CDs. So this right here is a CD. You'll put it in a little machine and it plays it because the music is on the back. So Les Mis is 3 of these. 1, 2, 3. Seriously, it's one of my favorite things. I sing it all the time. Don't I, girls?
Always.
They sing it too. They like it too.
I do not like it. But that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right in to chapter 2. Remember my little Guatemala bookmark? Okay, chapter 2, Monsieur Madeleine. I sold most of the silver and set myself up, but I kept the candlesticks to remind me that I was a new man. I moved to Montreuil-sur-Mer. Sorry, French, don't speak it. I arrived the night of the town hall fire. The police chief's 2 children were in the fire. I rescued them. In the excitement, no one asked to see my identity papers. I changed my name to Madeleine and began a new life. In 3 short years, I was rich. It happened like this. The city of Montreal had a special craft, making black glass beads. The black beads brought Montreal most of its money. I invented a cheaper glaze to finish the beads. The beads were even more in demand. The town prospered. I built a bead factory. There was a workshop for men and a workshop for women. Any person wanting honest work could always get a job at my factory. I gave beds to the hospital and built an old people's home. It was the first one in France. I built a new school. At first, people didn't trust me. They thought I was doing these things for my own gain. How could they know I gave so much because so much had been given to me? In time, I earned everyone's trust. They even made me their mayor. Only one person didn't trust me. That person was Javert, the police instructor. His eyes were like ice whenever we met. I lived quietly. I didn't want Javert to learn the truth about me. I was an ex-convict, but worse, I had stolen from a child. Soon, I would find out that Javert was like a hawk when it came to the law. His eyes were sharp, and he never let his prey escape. One day, I was out walking. The ground was soft from rain the day before. I saw a small crowd gathered around a horse cart. They parted when I arrived. A horse had broken its hind legs, and an old man was trapped under the cart. The man was Pierre Fauchelevent. He had never liked me. I think he was jealous. Once I had been a day laborer as he was. Now I own the factory. Is help on the way? I asked. The loaded cart pressed heavily onto the poor man's chest. If help didn't arrive soon, he would be crushed. Yes, replied the man next to me. Someone has gone to get a jack from the blacksmith, but it will take a quarter of an hour. A quarter of an hour, I cried. He will be dead in that time. There's still room for a man to crawl under the cart and lift it on its back. I'll give 5 francs to anyone with the muscle and the heart. No one spoke. I raised my offer to 10 francs, 20 francs. Still, no one came forward. Meanwhile, the cart was sinking deeper into the mud. It was squeezing the life out of him. A man would have to be as strong as an ox to lift that load, said Javert. I had not seen him in the crowd. He would risk getting crushed himself, he continued. I have only known one man who could lift a load like this on his back. I knew him when I was a warden in the Toulon prison. Toulon. How long was it since I'd heard that name spoken? Memories of my years in prison rushed upon me. Javert was watching me closely, but I couldn't let Fauchelevent die. Suddenly, the old man cried out, "It's crushing me! My ribs are breaking! For God's sake, do something!" I stripped off my coat and crawled under the cart. The cart was low in the mud. I was almost flat on my stomach. I slipped again and again, trying to get a foothold. "Hurry, come out of there, Monsieur Madeleine," someone shouted. Fauchelevent himself cried out, "Go away, Monsieur Madeleine. I am done for. Let me be, or you will be killed too." But I finally had a foothold. I braced the cart's weight on my back and pushed with all my might. Slowly, the cart rose. At last, the mud-caked wheels came into view. Men from the crowd jumped in to help. The cart was soon out of the mud, and Fauchelevent was rescued. I think I say that different each time. That's okay. I got to my feet. Sweat poured down my face. I was drained. As I walked away, I could feel the eyes of the hawk watching me upon my back. Fauchelevent's kneecap was broken. I brought his horse and cart. I found him work as a gardener in a convent in Paris. In this way, the old man became my friend.